My name is Lindsay Whittle, and I am the Plaid Cymru candidate in the Caerphilly by-election that no one in Wales wanted. And I would like to pay tribute to Hefin David and again extend my deepest sympathy to his family and friends. And I hope that their loss will rejuvenate the Cynhadledd to perhaps spending a little more money on mental health issues that affect 1 in 4 people in Wales. And that will be a tribute to Hefin. Do you know, it was in 1968, you practically, Mark, must have read my speech. It was in 1968 when I first heard Phil Williams say, there has never been a more exciting time to be in Plaid Cymru. Well, those heady days in the 60s of the singing in all of the public houses in Caerphilly, tell that man in number 10 we're a nation, Wales is marching on to freedom, and of course the famous who put the Phil in Caerphilly. Well, try as I might, I cannot fit Lindsay Whittle into Caerphilly, but let me tell you this. If you cut me in half like a stick of rock, you will see 3 words: Caerphilly and Plaid Cymru. As Mark has said, I have dedicated my entire life to public service in the town I'm proud to call my home. This party, my hometown, and above all, its people, mean more to me than anything I can explain. Next May, I will have served 50 years as a Plaid Cymru councillor, and I regret nothing. We share the values of our previous generations. My grandfather, Will James, was a miner. He was 13 years old when he carried the body of my great-grandfather, Evan Hopkins James, carried his father's body back to the home from the Cynhadledd explosion. He carried the body in the family tin bath. That generation worried themselves about the next generation and future generations. My own Auntie Marian, who's well into her late 90s now, lost her brother in the Windsor Colliery, Abertawe, as I can see from my house. They brought his body to the surface, and my 2 uncles, Alan and Boyo, followed him up, and they never went below again. And like so many of our talented Welsh generation then, they emigrated to Canada. In Caerphilly now, of course, as in all of Wales, the collieries have gone. Penastra was the last colliery to close. Bedwas colliery never ever reopened after the 84-85 strike. Men suffered silicosis, pneumoconiosis, and ill health plagued thousands of them through what should have been a happy retirement, like the Black Death it was. And what's the future? Well, when we get millionaires like Farage, who has the audacity to suggest reopening mines again, let me tell you, Mr. Farage, and I'm sorry you chose the day when I was in Swansea to come to Caerphilly. Someone must have told you that I was here. We are sick to death, sick to the black teeth of fancy men from London in their posh suits telling us in Wales what to do. And as Max Boyce once sang, briefcases full of bank clerks that have never been below. And my advice to those men in their fancy suits is get back on the train and go home. You are not welcome here. And that scenario, of course, applies to steel workers in our once proud steel towns, to slate quarry workers, where just as in the valleys, the legacy of the industry is spewed over our beautiful land, and yet they have still to clear it up. The countryside where our backbone of small family farms are disappearing to city slickers who sell their homes in big cities for vast profits just to tinker around with 6 chickens. That's not farming. I started work. I didn't go to university. I was during my O-level period, for those of you who remember O-levels, in the 1970 general election, I didn't turn up for one O-level because I was canvassing for Dr. Phil Williams, and I was told off by my parents and my teachers. I started work in Stadium's factory in Caerphilly, 40 hours a week, £2.10, making crash helmets. I could bore you to death on how to make a crash helmet. And in the 1980s, I then worked in the foundry in Dialloy, and Thatcher's London government closed my factory, and I spent 7 months unemployed. I know how hard life can be. I've experienced it, and that's what we need, more politicians who have experienced tough times. For the last 8 years, in my so-called retirement, I've got 4 voluntary jobs. I work better for nothing. I have volunteered in the Caerphilly Food Bank. I witness poverty every single week. People ask me on the doorstep, oh, what are you going to do for me? And I really think I should be saying to them, I'm not going to do anything. People are saying to us on the doorstep in Caerphilly, politicians, can you please start talking about food prices that are rising and the supermarkets making obscene profits and all the profits going to shareholders across the border. Gas prices are increasing. Electricity prices are increasing. Fuel for vehicles is increasing. And again, all the profits going to shareholders. And please, please don't get me started on the cost of Welsh water. Our mountains are filling with windmills, solar farms, and pylons. We are now exporting power from Wales. Haven't we learned the lesson from coal? Where are these profits going? We have homes lying empty in Caerphilly and across the whole of Wales, yet we have homeless people on the increase. And the reason is the Cynhadledd and faceless bureaucrats in the Cynhadledd are not doing their jobs properly. Why are we insisting on such madness when we have so many empty properties? We have to question, what is Labour in Westminster and what is Labour in Cardiff doing? Are they just listening to these bureaucrats without questioning them at the very highest level? Because that's what's happening. We were promised, remember, just a year ago, with a Labour government in Cardiff and a Labour government in Westminster, we'll work together and things will get better. They don't even talk to each other. Members, all ask ourselves, why do we do this? Why do we do this? You're not going to find an answer on an app or a text or a computer /.com, whatever. I don't like computers, as you can guess. The reason is we need to start talking to people, the ordinary people. We live next door to them. We help, we care about people. And not only that, we don't just criticize the opposition, we actually offer alternatives to improve their lives and improve the quality of their lives. We care about people. We have ideas and vision for the future, for our children and our grandchildren. I see little action from the unionist London parties. In fact, I have seen little action all my political life. This blind loyalty to one party state in Wales, I can assure you from the doorsteps in Caerphilly, is clearly now at an end. People of Wales are witnessing hope and vision. Conference, for as long as I live, I will dedicate my life to this party, to the people of Caerphilly first, and to all of the people of Wales. And when people ask me again, what will you do for me? My reply will always be, and most importantly and critically, it will always be, nah, I won't do anything for you. It's what I will do for us. When did we ever get to this me, me, me? It's us, we, the people. The story on the doorsteps is now clear. From Bedwas to Bargoed, people are leaving Labour in their thousands. They want to protest at the party and the system which has failed them. Caerphilly, no doubt, is a two-horse race, and Labour, I can assure you, is way behind. But don't attack reform and don't attack reform voters. Some people have genuine fears, and it's up to us to talk to them kindly and persuade them and gently get them on our side. Do not insult them, because that will get you nowhere at all. Talk to them and persuade them. In Caerphilly, you can vote, and you can vote for change by staying true to our community values. If and when I win Caerphilly, and I will win Caerphilly, the message to every young person is believe in yourself. If a young man who left school with 1 O-level and started to work making crash helmets can succeed, then there's hope for every single child in Wales. Can I finish by thanking everyone so far who has come to Caerphilly, and we need you now more than ever. You've come to help knock on doors and deliver more leaflets than has ever gone out before. I promise you this, ladies and gentlemen, with one more last determined effort, we can win, not just for Wales, we can win Caerphilly, and we can look forward to a brighter future for our next generation. Cymru am byth.